It's New Year's Eve, woohoo! But as we say goodbye to 2024, let's have a roundup of what was great at the drugstore this year. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. I did say in my last video, which was a very festive shop up, did you see it? Did you see it? Well, I'll link it down below and you can just go and find it on the main page of my channel here. But I did say that I would see you in the new year. Well, surprise! We couldn't finish off the year without a roundup of what's great at the drugstore because you love my shop up videos and I really love putting them together. So in this video, we're going to look back at some of the things throughout all of those videos and what was best and things that a lot of you loved and a lot of you might not have seen. So let's get into it. Just to mention, before we get into all the goodies from the drugstore when it comes to hair care, hair care is a very personal thing. There may be things that I recommend that didn't work for you, or there may be things that a friend of yours has used and said that they really didn't like, although you really love using them. And that's because hair care, hairstyling, shampoos, conditioners, treatments, etc., are often a very personal thing. Different ingredients work differently for different people. They give the hair different feel, different textures, different, results. So at the end of the day, it is a personal thing. Let's remember that, because I do get the odd comment and say, well, I used that and I hated it. And it's like, well, that's okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you from a formula point of view, and there are some things as well that I have used personally that I really love. So, and just to remember as well that if you enjoy this and find it helpful, you know exactly what to do. You sharing this with a friend, liking it, leaving a comment, I love your comments, means that my content will get pushed out to more people. And this channel, my channel, is all about everyone having the best hair that they can. Right, this. Of course, you've all noticed I've got my glittery roll neck on. Well, it is Twixmas, isn't it? In between Christmas and New Year. Hope you've all had a fantastic festive period, whatever you've been up to. I hope you've got a chance to relax. Product number one. Oh yes, from Neutrogena. Now, this was featured in one of my shop up videos. I can't remember which one. I will put them all. I'll link them in the description. They're all in a playlist. There's quite a few of them because this year has been lots of fun creating them. This is from Neutrogena. It's part of the T-Gel line, and this is their sensitive shampoo that's also for hair, for people that have dandruff. Hair? People. That's the one. I have a very, very sensitive scalp. Oh! Yes, I don't have sensitive skin, but my scalp is always very, very sensitive. I've been using this. I bought this with my own money. It was £7, I think. And the reason I love this is the formula. It has a very simple formula. There's no added colorants in here or fragrance. Fragrance can be something that really does set off a sensitive scalp, okay? But this contains some really great active ingredients. Pyroxene olamine, which doesn't work for everybody that has a sensitive scalp or for dandruff. If you have severe sensitive scalp or severe dandruff, I would suggest that you see a medical professional. But this has really helped my scalp. There's pyroxene olamine, which is the active ingredient. There's also salicylic acid, which helps to remove any debris from the scalp, okay? I've been using this every single day, and it's completely color safe as well. It does have sodium lauryl sulfate in it, so if you're the SLS police, Nina, look away now. But it also contains a foaming agent that's made from coconut too. There's glycerin to keep the hair moisturized, but it has a very simple, minimal formula. And for the price, it's a great price point. A little goes a long way. It's highly concentrated. So if you suffer with an itchy scalp or a dry scalp or dandruff that you're not seeing a medical professional for, Neutrogena T-Gel Sensitive Scalp Dandruff Shampoo could be for you. I can't recommend it enough. I think it's brilliant. Next up, something that was in a dupes video that everybody really enjoyed, and that is this from John Frieda. This is called 3 Days Straight. It is a dupe for the Colour Wow Dream Coat that everybody loves, but it is quite an expensive product. I think this retails for about £8 sterling UK. It would be different wherever you are in the world, obviously. Prices would be adjusted. This contains an ingredient called polysilicone 9, and it temporarily, semi-permanently coats the hair like Colour Wow Dream Coat does, okay? And it makes the hair smooth. The interesting thing about this product is the rest of the ingredients list is really impressive, but John Frieda, the same lab, creates Colour Wow Dream Coat. They basically make all of the Colour Wow line. It's a lab called the Federici Lab. I talk about it in other videos, which is owned by a woman. Big up to her, big up to them. And it's a really great formula. This will keep your hair smooth, humidity resistant. I've got lots of clients that love it, that I've talked about and recommended it to them. I retail K18 products in the salon. There's a whole playlist of K18 here on my channel, but I don't retail any styling products as such. So this is something that a lot of my clients have used and really enjoyed. It does contain polysilicone 9. I think Colour Wow Dream Coat is polysilicone 19, which is a slightly different ingredient, but a very, very similar formula. So if you have hair that is of any texture, you can use this on finer textured hair as well. If you have hair of any texture that is prone to being frizzy, that you just can't get sleek and straight, then this might be good for you. There's a very specific way to use it. You need to apply a lot of it to freshly shampooed hair, shampooed and conditioned hair, and apply a lot of the product to each section and then blow dry your hair. And for even better results, flat iron it. But the formula on this is brilliant. Coming in at number 3, we have another styling product, this. Now, did you know, obviously you may have heard of Elnet's hairspray, but did you know they make some styling products as well? I featured this, I think it was in my first ever Shop Up video. Elnet have, like I've just said, a very minimal styling line, but this is mousse. And if you have finer textured hair, or you have thicker hair and you want volume, or you wave your hair, all the miming, and you find that it just drops, then a mousse is a really great thing to use. I have had 2 of these that I have used in salon on clients. Again, a lot of clients I've recommended it to them, put your teeth in, and they really, really enjoy it. It's a firm hold mousse that gives lots of volume and body with no crunchiness, no stickiness, and it really does make styles last. Only the other day, a couple of weeks ago, before I finished my second canister of this, obviously it's a mousse, you do go like this and it foams up, which is a great delivery system for making it to be evenly distributed throughout the hair. I have a client that comes in, I don't do a lot of just one-off blow dries, but I do have one client that comes in sometimes and I put some wefts in their hair and I use this mousse on her and she uses it at home as well, and it is really fantastic for lots of volume. As I said earlier in the video, if you have thicker hair, this might be great for you as well. If you find that your blow dry or your styling drops, mousses aren't for everybody, just like anything isn't for everyone, but it is a really fantastic foundation styling product to give you lift, volume and body. Controversial yet bold, let's talk about Batiste. Dry shampoo. They get so much hate on the tinterweb. I just don't understand why. The Batiste line of dry shampoos is really great. If you look at some of their newer formulas, they contain rice starch, okay? That is the thing that is absorbing the oil on your scalp. There are a lot of them that are talc-free. And in my opinion, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on a dry shampoo. I really wouldn't, because the majority of what's in dry shampoo is propellant. Okay, so about 1/3 of a can of dry shampoo is the propellant that gets the product out. And, you know, Batiste dry shampoo is around £4, £5, depending on which SKU from the line. There are lots of SKUs. Some of them are very heavily fragranced, which are not my bag, but I have used a lot of them and they are really, really good. I don't want to spend, personally, £25, £30 on a dry shampoo when the majority of it, 1/3 of it is just the propellant that gets it out of the can. I know there's been lots of hate about talc, I know there's been lots of hate about propellants. Obviously, do your own research. But in my opinion, as far as formulas go and for the money, Batiste dry shampoo is great. Next up, it's more about an ingredient that a lot of you really are into and something that I think is great in formulas, and that is amodimethicone. Say it again, Craig. Amodimethicone. That's better. And that's this line, which is Dream Lengths from L'Oreal. Excuse me. There is a lot of L'Oreal in this video. It does surprised me how much of a hold on the drugstore, high street, chemist, pharmacy, whatever it is you call the place that you get your products from. It amazes me how much of a hold they have on it, but it is what it is. So the Dream Length line, which is part of the Elvive stable, that is part of L'Oreal. Some of them have very similar formulations to Kerastase. Yes, they do. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but they do, very similar. Not the same price point though. This Saviour mask does have amidimethicone in it. A lot of the Dream Length line does. I think they also have another line that's called Great Lengths, which is also very amidimethicone heavy. It makes the hair very slippy, very silky, very, very manageable. And the majority of damage is done to the hair when people are brushing their hair out aggressively when it's wet or combing it. It's slightly not misleading, but it's a little bit of a reach in that, you know, this line says that it makes your hair grow extra long. Well, it's not doing that. What it's doing is it's stopping breakage, which means that your hair's going to be longer, healthier, and you know, you're going to be able to get more length on it. But if you like the feel of the conditioners that come in home colorants, one of those coming up in a minute, but what you might call box dye, then this is a great line for you. And this treatment specifically has the amidimethicone in there, has lots of other great things like wheat protein, which is not bad. Proteins in products are not bad for you. Proteins are always balanced in products. So if it contains wheat protein, then it's going to have a bit of moisture as well. It's not going to make your hair snap. But the Dream Length line, if you want that slippy, silky, manageable feel, regardless of your hair texture, this would be great. Let's have some more styling, and this is my favourite texturizing spray. Yes, from Andrew Fitzsimons, not Andrew Fitzsimmons, as I said in my first video. Sorry, Andrew, if you see this. Now, again, a bit like the dry shampoo, I don't really feel like texturizing sprays. I used to love the Orbe one, Orbe, whatever, however you call them, Oribe. It is pronounced Orbe. But Orbe Canales was an amazing hairstylist. He's no longer with us, but he really was iconic. Search Orbe Canales on Google, that's the one. And I used to love that product, but it's like £40 for a can of it. And again, a lot of it is propellant. But the Andrew Fitzsimons, that's the one, dry texturizer or texturizing spray is a total dupe for it. I've talked about it a lot here on my channel. I'm not going to talk about it too much other than it gives you great piecey texture, you know, volume and undone texture. It's great for refreshing hairstyles. It's great for finishing off any waving or tonging or anything like that. It's great for adding body and volume to the hair. I think it's around £8. The entire line is great. In my opinion, they're all dupes of other things. If you're in America, you can get it in Ulta, I think. And if you're over here in the UK, you can get it in Boots online. They're often 2 for 1, but it really is brilliant. And if you love a texturizing spray, you gotta try it out. Lastly, before we have a quick fire round, how many times I'm gonna say quick, let's talk about a box dye. Sorry. Also, I've had a few comments recently, just a couple, where people say that I ramble and that I get off topic. I don't. It's just there's a lot of information to get across. You know, there's so much to get into a 20-minute. I don't really like my videos to be that much longer than 20 minutes because they take a long time to edit. But there's a lot of information to get across. So if you think I'm ramble, I'm really sorry, but there is information to get to people. So, last but by no means least, let's have Clairol Natural Instincts. I tested this earlier in the year and I was blown away. It is actually a dupe for a professional product called Colour Touch, which I use in the salon. I've used for a long time. It's a brilliant formula. Clairol is owned by Wella. Wella is the biggest colour house in the world. They make brilliant products. I also use their permanent hair colour line in the salon, which is called Coliston. I made a video about those products recently here on my channel. But if you colour your own hair at home and you want to use a demi-permanent colour, I'm not going to get into the science because I might be accused of rambling. But Clairol Natural Instincts is brilliant. It's a zero lift, low, I think it might be ammonia free. Yes, it's a zero lift, ammonia free, demi-permanent colour that blends grey hair, doesn't have the power to lift your hair if you use it correctly. It is a demi-permanent colour, so it doesn't wash out. It's not something that will all disappear. But I tested this in a video and it is really brilliant. And I know a lot about the formulation of hair colour, because one of the things I do that you never see me talk about is research and development with some of the brands, helping them develop hair colour. So it's a brilliant formula, and if you do your own hair at home, or if you're a hairstylist and you get stuck and you need a product to use on someone's hair in a hotel room late at night like I have done before, this is the one to get. So I have my iPad, yes, my teenage iPad. There was a lot of, yes, they're scratch and sniff stickers. Who remembers those? They have re-released them recently and I have been buying them. They're not on here. This is actually a case on my iPad, but scratch and sniff stickers, if you know, you know. So, I'm rambling, whoops. So I'm going to do a quick fire round really, really quickly, because there's some things here that were in some of the videos and that I just think that you need to know about. Bleach London, that is a chain of salons. There's one in LA. I think there's some in London as well, still, yeah. But Bleach London is a line of demi-permanent colours, toners, permanent hair colours, bleach, but they also make brilliant coloured shampoos and conditioners. So good. I have used them many times. I recommend them as well to people and they really love them. Bleach London. The Ordinary have a really great shampoo and conditioner that's got very, very simple formula that you can find in drugstores / chemists / pharmacists online. It's a slightly higher price point, but it is sold in drugstores and I think it's great. It's a really good formula. Garnier Ultimate Blends hair food masks. You've all probably seen them. They might be called something slightly different in other countries. They come in big tubs, they're brightly coloured and they're 97% natural. You know, they do contain some chemicals, but they make your hair very slippy, very manageable because they contain dimethicone. So they're very silkening, very, make your hair feel extremely soft. So if you've got very textured hair, they would be great. They come in lots of different smells. And then the L'Oreal Glycolic Gloss. If you wanted to try some of the Redken products that are a bit more expensive, they have about a £25 price point. That's the one. If you wanted to try some of those like the ABC or the Acidic Colour Gloss, then I would recommend that you try the L'Oreal Glycolic Gloss because the formulas are extremely similar. So that's it for my roundup of what I thought was great at the drugstore this year. Do you have a shop up video that you would like me to film? The curly hair shop up video is coming soon. There'll be some surprises in that, I suspect. But do you have a video that you'd like to see in the shop up series for the new year? Then please leave it in the comments. I love all of your comments, and yes, I know it amazes a lot of people, but I do reply to everybody. Can't give you specific hair color formulas though, even though people keep asking. I hope that you've all had a wonderful festive season. A huge thank you if you've come to the end of the video. If you found it helpful, you enjoyed it, you know exactly what to do. There's a lot more coming in 2025. So make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss out. Whatever you're doing to celebrate the new year, or if you're watching this in the new year, Happy New Year. You all take lots of care and I'll see you all in the next one.